We got everybody.
We do.
Good afternoon. The Ways and Means Committee will come to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Scott? Present. Commissioner Baker McCormick has requested to be excused. Commissioner Marecki?
Here.
Commissioner Baydoun?
Here.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Commissioner Palomera?
Here.
Chair Varga?
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you.
Chairwoman,
Our last meeting is going to be the 26th.
26.
So we do plan to have it right after COPS.
Speak on
And please do.
Okay, thank you. Just, I announced this at CAPS, but I've been announcing every meeting. 9:30 on the 26th will be the CAPS meeting. This, we're taking up the mills. I know Commissioner Anderson wants us to hear this. So it will be downstairs, because we expect a lot of people. So 9:30 on the 26th.
Unless we get 10 inches of snow.
Yeah. Unless we have any other meetings that we have to put in between time, we're hoping to follow them right away and get us out of here on that day, as it's just before Thanksgiving.
And then you said that's the last meeting of the year?
Last meeting of the year,
Meeting of the year.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, till in November. Then we come back in December.
Okay, all right, I just,
That's Thanksgiving,
all right,
just before Thanksgiving.
okay.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm a month ahead of myself. For November, it's the last meeting, and then we're going to see how we can juggle around Christmas time, so I guess stay tuned for the rest. So happy snow day, and just that we're going to try to push that time immediately after public services, so some of us who are leaving town for Thanksgiving can just go. The approval of the minutes, I'm going ahead of our clerk. We're going to approve those next month, or the next meeting, because they're not ready yet. So next item.
unfinished business, there is none. Item E1, a communication from Eric Sabri forwarding the 2018 property sales proceeds report in accordance with the statutory requirements contained in section.
Consider it read. Mr. Abel, please.
Yeah, I think the appropriate motion here would be to pass for the day on items number 1 and 2. And the reason for that is because these actually deal with probably some more serious issues, and the administration wanted time to speak with the treasurer regarding the reserve that they're proposing, and the discussions will be whether it's needed, how to define it, and where to house it, whether it should be in the treasurer's funds or whether it should be in the general fund. But there ultimately could be greater liability or less liability, but it's really unknown at this point in time because of litigation that's going through the courts.
In a different county. And
Madam Chair.
and here
Actually,
too.
Wayne County as well,
And here
Oakland
too.
County and Wayne County.
It's at the state though, level, right?
Well, it's in the courts, I think, as well as there's legislation pending too, but I don't know if the pending legislation, I think it's Pete Lucido from Macomb had put out the legislation, but I don't know if that'll be retroactive or to be
And
prospective.
that's part of the problem, Commissioner, is if the courts do decide to remedy this situation in an equitable way, what will that equitable way be? And is there liability to Wayne County as a result of it?
Right. I had the same question about whether or not, who would, and what department or fund would that money be set aside?
I think that ultimately it would probably be the responsibility of the county itself, probably the general fund, and where it comes from would be a different issue. Because all of the reserves from the delinquent tax revolving fund have been moved to the general fund.
Commissioner Marecki?
What court is this in? Is it at the Supreme? Michigan Supreme
It's
Court?
probably at the, I'm trying to remember, trying to remember not tribunal certainly, it would be the other Court of Claims, I
Court of
believe.
Claims, yeah, perhaps.
That's what I'm guessing. Joey, you don't know, do you?
Don't know
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Are you
move
alluding
to-
to the,
Yeah, we'll do
to the lawsuit of the lady who filed against the county when her home was sold for $105,000, she lost it for back taxes of $500?
Yeah, actually, what happened, and this is my understanding, and it's secondhand. Apparently, in Oakland County was where it really originated. Although there's a case pending in Wayne County as well, similarly. But the taxes were actually paid, but the county had charged interest, which was unknown to the homeowner at the time. And 2 years later, there was a foreclosure as a result of the unpaid interest, which amounted to something like
Hey,
$8.
that's different. I read that, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But the-
and so they're claiming that that's a taking, and that is the foundation of the lawsuit.
I'll move to pass for the day.
Items 1 and 2.
One and
Before I
One and
take
two.
that motion, if we pass it for the day, it comes back to us in 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, they just wanted time to discuss it with the treasurer. And item number 2 is a transfer from the general, or from the delinquent tax revolving fund to the general fund. And that is actually has to be done before the end of the year because, so that it can adequately be reflected in the CAFR for the 2018-2019 fiscal year.
Okay, so we're going to pass the minutes in 1 and 2 for the day. Would you like to say something? Identify yourself for the record, please.
I think he's on here on the charge.
I'm here for a chargeback, but I can
Okay.
absolutely speak for item number 2.
Oh, I thought you were here for that, I'm sorry.
No, I'm here for a chargeback.
We
This
don't
is-
like chargebacks, so. Just kidding.
No, that-
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D3, a communication from Yogesh Jushani reporting the statements of chargeback for the period of October 1st, 2000.
Consider it read. Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, yeah.
Yogesh Kisani, Director of Finance Reporting, Management and Budget. What we have is second quarter chargeback statement. It's a routine statement every quarter that management budget does. And there's no method change. It's just same way that has been done. Okay?
Okay.
you have any
questions? Commissioner Anderson?
I just had a question on, it's on page 7 for the county commission. There's 2 that have dollar amounts, but they don't have an explanation of what they are.
Page
The 2 at the
7.
top. Page 7, it's right at the top of the list, county commission. There's dollar amounts on the first one, it's zeros on the second one, but the one on the top has $7,416. But there's no work order number, no explanation of what it is. I'm just curious.
The only chargebacks that the county commission has are for the services of the Office of Auditor General.
Right.
And
That's
it's
it.
going against, from cost incurred by the Auditor General and being allocated to other county departments.
Okay, but it's,
We could probably find out more specifically what that one was, but that is the only chargeback within the county commission department.
other than the building, the Guardian building, right, the rent?
Well, that comes in.
Right.
That doesn't
Right.
go out. This is,
Oh, okay. Comes in to,
Did you want to respond?
doesn't come into the commission, though.
yes, rent does.
It does.
We get allocated costs in, but the only cost that goes out, and I'm assuming this is a cost out.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah, if I could find out some time as to what.
We will
that-
follow up on
okay.
that, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can certainly answer that,
It doesn't sound,
Any other question?
understood we were, it raised the amount.
Nope.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion, please? No, I move approval.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D. Item D4, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35002.
Consider it read. It's juvenile justice budget amendment budget.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we're on E4, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wanted to ask if there's anyone here that could, this appears to be the first contract. Is this the first contract, Kelly, that we've had for monitoring the health fund for the jail medical services? Oh,
Kelly Rao, Management and Budget. I'll let Kamal answer the question for you.
Kamal Keperu, Finance Director for Health, Human, and Veteran Services, Management and Budget. This budget adjustment is dealing with a new position. If you go back to the OAG did a audit or review on the CCS program or the CCS, and remember we talked about hiring a position. This is one of the positions that's going to support the program side of the review for the CCS contract, and also you'll be getting another budget adjustment soon from the finance side.
okay, so this is the first time this position has
correct.
existed, and it's to monitor the contract, which was with CCS, but now it's, what is it, WellPath or whatever it is?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, WellPath, not
Okay.
CCS, correct.
Oh, okay, all right. Thank you.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now, number 5.
Requesting Commission approval of Budget Adjustment 2020-35010, reallocating expenditures in the Juvenile Justice Abuse Neglect
Consider it
Fund.
read. Any questions? Commissioner Anderson?
Real quick, is this a new van that is for the first time, or is it, I mean, it's some new service, or is it a replacement vehicle?
No, this is for the purchase of a new van for the web unit, not a
Yeah.
replacement vehicle.
Okay, and what,
Well, I'm not gonna say replacement, they got some old vehicles over there, but this is definitely a new van.
this is new van, okay. I guess what I'm, but if they've not had a van before, what's the reasoning behind it? Do you know?
No, I don't have the reasoning, but the little bit I know is that the vans they had was outdated.
Okay. So you think it probably is a replacement vehicle? Okay,
Right.
okay, I misunderstood. Thank you.
So moved.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Requesting Commission approval of Budget Adjustment 2020-35009, reallocating expenditures in the General Fund.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Requesting Commission approval of Budget Adjustment 2020-35011, reallocating expenditures in the General Fund.
Any questions? $3,200. It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D8, requesting Commission approval of Budget Adjustment 2020-35007, reallocating expenditures in the County Road Fund.
Commissioner Marecki moves, supported by Martha G. Scott. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion? Then ayes got it. Next item.
Item number D9, requesting Commission approval of Budget Adjustment 2020-35025, reallocating expenditures in the General Fund.
This is a big one.
Yeah.
Move for approval.
It's been moved and supported. All in, do
Quick
you
question.
have a question?
Is there anyone here from the administration could, I understand what's in the documentation here. It's for the census, temporary staff, supplies, and advertising. But I wanted to find out, is there any sharing of costs? Because besides what the county is putting in by, I mean, there's other people that'll benefit based on the census.
At this time, I'm not aware of any sharing of costs. There was a grant received for $75,000, I believe, that assisted funding this unit
Okay.
during the census.
And Kelly, I realize that you're not probably the one that can answer this, but I've noticed a lot of the communication that we received regarding the census efforts to inform everyone about the census includes a seal on it that's not the county seal. And I think if we're going to expend county money, we need to have the county seal on it. It's identifiable to taxpayers across the county that it is the county. And it just, we're getting off track, I think, by having all these other seals and logos and everything on our documentation that comes out of the county the taxpayers are paying for. And I realize, like I said, you're not in a position to answer that. But I have that concern. I just want to express that we're getting off track. It's like, what if every commissioner wanted to have their own seal, and they wanted that put on everything? It's just not appropriate when you're using county tax dollars. But I'll support it, but like I said, that is the communication that should come out from that office, and I would ask, Madam Chair, if you would communicate that to the administration, that communications that are coming out of that department, advertising and others, should include the Wayne County seal. That's all.
On that point, yeah, I kind of thought that census seal is a little confusing because most people who don't know about the census really don't know what that represents. So, yeah, I'll do that.
Well, I don't think the census is a big problem, but when you're promoting another elected official, that's the question.
My
Is that
problem goes
appropriate?
bigger than that. If we're going to be spending money, I think the county commissioners ought to be added on to some of this promotion too.
Well, if we're going to do that, but
If we're going to do that,
Yeah,
so.
but I think if we're going to go down that road, I think it's inappropriate for one individual, any elected official, to promote themselves by using their own little seal.
Whose
And not-
seal is it? I haven't
It's the
seen it.
county executive seal.
Oh.
And it's not the way, many of the communications and advertising only has that and does not have Wayne County on it.
I haven't
the Wayne
noticed.
County seal.
I
Okay.
have to check it.
Okay, but
okay.
I just think it needs to be stopped unless he's paying for it himself, that's all.
I will try to let him know our concerns
Thank you.
from here. Commissioner Maraki?
Commissioner Anderson's point. Kelly, do you know off the top of your head how much money we're putting in from the general fund for this census? We got the $75,000 grant from the state, I believe.
There was $100,000 adopted by the commission in the CEO's budget, and that's what we had put it in a set-aside account, and when we were in the middle of the budget process, we failed to move it into the Wayne United department.
Okay, so this is the one you're talking about?
Correct, then $100,000.
Okay, so at this point, it's $100,000? Okay. Because I guess I agree with Commissioner Anderson, we're doing this for the county, but I wonder if anybody else is helping. I mean, I don't know how the cities interact with this, I'm not sure how the whole, our townships are set up, and I guess we'll just have to find more information on how this is exactly working.
Okay,
Okay,
and I'll
thank you.
mention it to Zainab, who's in charge of that.
Yeah, I'm
census.
just curious, I mean, are we doing it for these other cities and townships, or, okay.
I'm
I
not
don't,
sure.
I personally do not think that we are. I think this is just what we send out or actually the county executive sends it out since it's coming out of his executive budget.
Okay, yeah, because it's not that much money, I mean, to do a whole census thing, so I'm just, yeah, maybe it is just the advertising.
If I could,
Sure.
it indicates under Mark's department's analysis that, and there's money that's been expended already, and this sounds like in addition to the 100, yeah, there's apparently 88, it doesn't indicate what it was spent on, if it was on this census or not, but there's been people that are receiving pay currently for this work, which I understood this was in addition to that, Kelly, isn't that correct? This is in addition to what has been expended?
There is one CEO staff member that's in charge of the census.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, there has been that I'm aware of any temp employees hired for the census.
Okay.
There's been money spent from the grant funds. Other than that, I'm not aware of anything offhand.
Okay. And just to make it clear, I support efforts to try to get the word out about the census and how important it is to Wayne County and all of our communities around Michigan. But like I said, I think somebody needs to realize that it's county dollars, should be county seal on everything that goes out. And I will give our chair, commission chair credit. When I brought it to her attention, what they were sending out on their emails did not include the county seal whatsoever. It was just the census thing and the executive seal, and nothing about Wayne County on it. And she corrected it, and, we are, from her office and from our central staff, are sending out things that have the Wayne County seal and the census seal. So it's just, I think we're allowing it to grow on everything that's coming out almost, so,
Our chair is pretty wonderful.
yeah, she jumped right on it. Thank you.
Do we have a motion? And support? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D10, requesting commissioner approval of budget adjustment 2020-35019.
Move approval for pest control.
Support.
All in favor, say
We
aye.
gotta do
This
that.
is the one that I thought was really big, we needed to.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D11, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2019-35271, certifying revenue and the law enforcement fund.
Already.
This is a grant, right? I'll move approval.
Support.
Grant.
Been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D12, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2020-35012, certifying revenue in the general fund.
Commissioner Martha Scott moves, supported by Commissioner Anderson.
I have a question.
Question.
When is this ever going to stop? Like, how much more, I mean, and I'm not being critical, but it seems like there's tons of money. I mean, do you know where it's at? Or, I guess that's for the prosecutor's office, but
Yes, that would be correct.
it's like we get these huge amounts. And again, I'm not being critical. I'm just wondering where the end of this is. And I know the prosecution, there's going to be prosecution down the road, but a lot of money.
Unfortunately, I don't have the
Okay.
answer.
Yeah, I'll have to just ask someone from that.
I'm sure we'll have an update from our prosecutor
Yeah.
to just put this as one of, if you would, one of our staff,
Just an update on.
Mark, just to,
Through the chair, Commissioner Marecki, from the last public safety meeting, they stated, I believe all the kids have been tested. So a lot of these funds are now going towards the prosecution of the testing of the kids.
Okay. All right.
you know if they're involving the Detroit prosecutors too, or just the Wayne County prosecutor is doing it all? For the Detroit cases?
I'm not for sure, Commissioner, but I want to say it's probably the Wayne County.
Wayne County, okay. That's going to be a big task. It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
Item D13, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2019-35267.
Commissioner Anderson moves, supported by Commissioner Marecki. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Nutrition Fund. Next item.
Item D14, requesting commission approval of budget adjustment 2019-35269, certifying revenue in the county health fund.
Okay.
Do we have any questions on this one? It's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Kamal, you did a great job.
Can I
Commissioner
just ask a
Marecki?
question? Well, can I,
Don't leave.
See what happens?
Yeah. What's the question?
the DW, this is the Mental Health Board,
Yes.
Okay, so what, it's just, these are support services through mental health?
Yeah, Kamal Keperu, Finance Director. This is, there's been negotiations with the Mental Health Board.
Okay.
And this is an additional $1 million to the contract. Right now, the grant is $5 million. So through negotiations, that was beyond me. It was an agreement to give us another $1 million, an additional $1 million,
Okay, so that'll be just for this year?
just for this year.
Okay, and then it'll go back to negotiations, or it'll go back to 5 million?
Go back to the $5
It'll
million
go
as of
back to
now.
5 million, okay.
And as, you know, over the last couple of years, the Mental Health Authority has been moving towards actual encounter data. So I guess when they was talking, they looked at the overall scheme of things and agreed to this $1 million.
You think everything's working then? Okay, all right, thank you.
For last year?
Yes. Yes, 18, 19.
Wow.
That mean I should have left earlier.
Thank you.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Okay.
It would take the vote. Okay, it has passed. Next item.
Item D15, requesting Commissioner approval of budget adjustment 2019-35-266, decertifying revenue in the Drug Enforcement Program Fund.
Move for approval.
It's been moved and supported. Come on up. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's always good to be here. Sumaya Harb, Director of Administration at the Sheriff's Office. This is an old budget adjustment. I guess it was lost. Last year in December 2018, we received an email from the state saying we'll no longer have the marijuana grant. So we had submitted a budget adjustment back in December, but it just got to you today. Yeah, there's no grant, so we're just trying to zero out the budget. There was no actuals, it was just
You're
budget standing there.
reconciling it
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we're fixing the problem, that's it.
Okay,
already.
all right.
We're ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
We are on the addenda, item E16, requesting Commissioner approval of budget adjustment 2020-35033, certifying revenue in the Law Enforcement Fund.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
F, such other matters as may properly be submitted before the committee.
Anyone have any other such matters? None.
G, public comments.
Anyone from the public wishing to comment?
Tim.
Tim, anybody from the public wishing
You
to
can
comment?
complain about the snow.
I hear none.
Adjournment.
I want to thank everybody for being so great at studying your items ahead of time, so we don't have to spend a lot of time in committee. Thank you, we're adjourned. Actually, Commissioner Anderson and Marecki moved and supported. We just want to make sure that we cover all of our Qs and E's and T's and I's. Thank you for telling us that. That was last year's.